Hello, Internet! Hello, Earth 2 users. It is I, it's the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today from my car because there's so much to go over. We just had an important update from Shane, from the developers. Here we go. I'm going to read everything right now. Questions and answers from Shane. Shane, how has the uptake been with regards to the advert buttons? And Shane said, inbox was flooded. Amazing response. He's very happy with that. Another person asked, hey, Shane, just curious. Just hit week 6 for withdrawal. Should it be coming pretty soon? And Shane says, I can't say, but we are processing a lot every single day. So Shane says, somebody else asked, once automatic withdrawals are set, I think we will see some extremely increased development. Shane says, yes, I am missing meetings because of this stuff, making sure things are done. I need to jump back into planning more. Mime Crime says, well, I don't see the game having a traditional player-based demographic. The more people, the better. I'm sorry, that is a different one. Disregard. McNuggets asks, collaborations with YouTubers is nowadays the best marketing strategy. There you go, McNuggets. Thanks, man. Shane said, yes, we are yet to do this with anyone, but realize it could work. Most likely they're not talking about me or Ari Realty or anyone else, but they're probably talking about someone like Logan Paul or someone that just Mr. Beast, because they haven't really spent any of their marketing budget as of right yet. Next question. Oh, this is from Minecraft. When do you think will come first, Dubai or the start of Phase 2? Shane said it'll be around the same time, so you'll see both of them either probably end of this month is when they'll start to roll out. With the things going on in NFT space, those non-fungible tokens, getting people in would be a cakewalk. People are crazy if you would do something like that. And Shane says, we know. So and I've gone over this in the past, they connect the tile somehow to NFT, it is over for everyone else. Everyone's going to come in and just shoot it to the moon. Shoot it to the heckin' moon. Heard it here first. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but oh my God. In the future, will there be an AR element to Earth 2? Shane says, yes, I love AR. So not just the virtual reality, but augmented reality as well, kind of like Pokemon Go. Where do you see E2 in 3 years? What kind of user base / reach? Shane says, right now, I'm just more concerned about tomorrow. And when he says tomorrow, he doesn't mean like, oh, like they're going to make a big announcement tomorrow. He just means like he's worried about the next day, short term, getting through day-to-day activities. Four-Leaf Clover asks, how about in-game marketplace? Is that on the radar to improve filtering? Okay. And Shane says, it will come once we have more critical things resolved. So they're just working on so many things at once right now, parallel to each other. They don't want to make any promises about any one thing while they're working on so many at once. Shane, have you stress test the server for when you open up Phase 2 or Dubai? Shane says, yes. They're doing quite well, but still improving at this moment. Somebody asked, I am getting many DMs from users that are getting a lot of admin requests about something. I can't read the rest of the question. Shane said, there will be 3 reasons. Oh yeah, admin requests about not getting their money back. 3 reasons why you don't get your money back. They had a scammed property and we returned their property to them because they asked for it back due to a confirmed scam. All right, so it's not just about money. They had asked for a withdrawal and they will confirm once funds are on the way, and they have done something dodgy with their payments to us. So that's why people aren't getting paid right away sometimes. Just a couple of the reasons. But everyone does get paid back eventually. It just takes a little time, some longer than others. Mimecom says, what do you think about the idea of making the mining resources in the game through actual mining of tokens, of crypto? Shane said he had this idea a long time ago and was working on the concept. Then we went viral and everything else fell off the truck. So that's something that is still possible for the future. I think it is a big probability, especially with the NFTs coming in. That's something that I 100% think will happen. Again, just my opinion. All right, so somebody asked, oh yeah, a lot of admin transactions and the balances keep going down. And that's the one I just answered. What is currently your highest development property? Shane says scripts finding scammers to locate and clear accounts for withdrawals faster. Credit card payment system. Phase 2 Essence plus EPL plus web domain. Updates to terrain system for new footage in next video. Ooh. Number 5. Systems to prevent scammers from wanting to be part of Earth 2. We don't want them anywhere near us, and we're working on plans to deter them permanently. I mean, I am yet aware of one scammer being paid out. They will not win. Fantastic. Number 6. We are working on many other tasks on top of this, but those are a few that come directly into mind. talking to some amazing people around the world, but also can't say much under a non-disclosure agreement that they have. Ooh, interesting. We did never find out what billionaire Shane was talking to the other day. This one says, are you planning to have a tool inside Earth 2 to build any buildings, or should we start learning coding? Shane says, no need to learn just yet. Wait until we make announcements. So maybe we might have to, maybe coding will be an advantage. Someone says, Shane, I want to do something with grass with you. And Shane said, well, as a teenager, I found out I was more or less allergic to grass. Maybe Earth 2 is my subliminal escape. For the kids that are watching, ask your parents. Epoxy says, how many genders are in Earth 2? Shane says, we may go binary, 1 and 0. That's just a reference to binary being language math of just ones and zeros, but also another reference to some people being non-binary or gender fluid or whatever it is. So it's possible that there could be multiple genders outside of the male and female heteronormative ones. Okay, so Game Hostile asks, like, do we need to refresh our web page browser when Dubai opens? Shane says, no, LOL. We will give you and everyone else a fair warning before it comes out, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so a question. Thanks. DM'd you with a screenshot, though. That user has more than 10 admin actions in 2 days. I don't know. He says he really didn't do anything dodgy. That's in reference to the question before about the 3 things. If he did anything dodgy, that's why his payments are delayed. Shane says, not saying he did, but people have funny ways of twisting stories, like those who waited 4 months for their withdrawal and who bought land in October last year. There was also one guy accusing us of everything under the sun online, making videos and bringing the whole concept down. We found him on Earth 1 and found out he has spent hundreds of dollars after those comments, trading and all. Some people just want drama, I think, which is very possible. Some people, in order to get their YouTube viewership up, they do stuff like that. Like, someone made a video about me saying, am I a werewolf? Which I thought was funny. So, but yeah, people do crazy things to try to get their videos up. ID verification could be good to prevent scams. Shane says, exactly. So be advised, try to get an ID of some sort, whether it's a driver's license, if you don't have that, library card, utility bill. Most of these players are probably going to be 18 and over, but if you're under that age, try to get something like a school ID or what have you, even a bank ID. Seeing a lot of negative reviews about withdrawal taking up to more than 4 months. Shane says, and here's one already. Right after I wrote the comment, we launched less than 4 months ago. 4 people asked for withdrawals in the first month, and all were paid. So obviously that was not true. That question was asking. E2 drama is amazing. Shane says, it's like a soap opera sometimes, probably high entertainment for most, but I obviously have a long-term plan to prove the haters wrong. I think Shane has a lot of long-term plans, to be honest. The credit team emailed and asked for my ID and utility bill. Is this new? Shane says, if it's a higher amount, they might need to, by law, ask for those types of things. So yeah, if it's over like 10 grand, yeah, probably. And that makes a lot of sense. Somebody asked Shane, would you see this project as a game or an investment? Shane says, I see this as a platform for many things, but yes, it is a game. We're also building a platform for the future. Platforms include many things. So could this be a bank in the future? Yeah, absolutely. Someone says, I love you. Shane says, I love you guys. I wish I could come here more often. He's just so swamped with work, he can't. Somebody says, I haven't seen Wolfgang here in ages, and Shane said he is very busy. He does not have an easy task, and he takes his work very seriously. Said he had an hour call with him earlier today. He's well, but he's focused. Again, outside of everything that he's doing, Wolfgang is also trying to develop 10 different languages for this game. It's absolutely incredible. Oliet asks, how has this project made you lose faith in humanity? Have you realized that people are not what you thought? And Shane said, not at all. We have hundreds of thousands of users, and maybe 0.5, so half of 1%, complain openly. Most people are on board with us and what we're doing. We're working hard to make this work in the long term. I want to ask, people are defensive because it's funny. How can you put in money within seconds, but withdrawing takes a while? Shane says, well, I see this argument come up a lot, but I don't remember us advertising as a bank or wallet. Meaning, like, when you put money into Clash of Clans or, whatever, you don't see it back. It doesn't come back to you. unless something went wrong. And Shane just, I guess the developers weren't expecting this heavy of influx, only for people to take it out really quickly. Someone says, Shane, is it possible to get confirmation email when withdrawal email is sent? Shane said, yes. We know there should be an auto response for that, and it's coming. It would 100% be there, though, if you sent the correct address and didn't receive a notification from your email provider otherwise. So I guess a lot of it is there already, but more is coming. Shane said, yes, we should start asking those who are paid out to actually go and leave reviews on Trustpilot, Reddit, Google Reviews, and all that. There would be thousands. Plus, many users go and leave a review there, a bad review, then get paid out and just leave their review up. And he wanted them to go back and actually take those reviews down or switch it. Your advert here box is so annoying when buying tiles. Could you add a hide button? Shane says, yes, that is coming. So have a hide button for that, which is great. Suppose I want to give some credits to my friend who can't add money. Can I buy his tiles for however much and then resell it back to him at like 1 penny? Shane says, I really can't say. If I do it, then come back to me. He's asked, will he get banned? He said, I really can't say. If I do it, then come back to me. Sounds like you're doing it for a good reason, but think about it. Does it work? And what that really just means is Shane saying, like, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, you're doing that for a friend, and as long as it works, like, you can do that. I could buy someone's tiles for their, for what they're worth, and then have him sell it back to me for a penny. Then he gets that money. I'm essentially, giving my friend a loan. As long as it works, which it will, there really shouldn't be anything to worry about. That's pretty much what he's saying. Actually. So somebody says, so there are liars on this page. I actually saw 3 scammer names. Shane said, exactly. There are actually some people going out of their way to damage us with insanely wrong accusations. Lawyers are chasing them. I don't mind people being skeptical or debating. That's actually very healthy. But to outright lie just to try and bring down a small startup that is trying to make a difference in the world, I'm sorry, but our team is working too hard for us to let that go. Oh yeah, Shane, get him. Oh yes, somebody asked, Shane, can we have in-game chat? And Shane says, yes, working on something there. In-game chat. I am so excited for that. I'm sorry this video is going to get so long. And honestly, I have Taco Bell right next to me. I am ready to go. All right, before I, question for me, actually. Question for next vid, how did you discover Earth 2? What were your thoughts when looking at it? It's from Motiva Productions. My friend Steve, Aria Realty. And at first I thought, like, the way he was explaining it, was like, this sounds like a pyramid scheme. And then, like, I looked into it and he told me more about it. I was like, oh, this is like one of the greatest investment opportunities ever. Again, just my own thoughts. 3 times the charm. Many countries are unable to buy in because of card payment. Shane says, we are aware of this and we're trying to add more options in parallel or in conjunction with working on many other things. What options would you suggest? And they do go on to that later. Shane, when will we have news about the resources system? Shane says, it's coming, but we're creating an entire economy here. We don't want to release something that will be abused and break quickly. There's serious time and effort going into making sure things are done correctly, and I 100% have faith in WG getting it as right as possible. Oh, Wolfgang. As it possibly can before we roll out. That's WG, like derp. All right, so PaySafe and bank contact. Those are some things that might be able for people to put money in and take money out. I haven't heard of those, but that's what he's working on. Last night I tried to add $250. I had to try to run the card 2 times. It took on the second time. Will I be billed twice? Shane said, if that's the case, it will auto refund. We have billed systems in place that auto refund pre-authorization payments every 2 hours with our payment solution now. If it takes longer, it's due to your bank, like a pre-authorization on a hotel, but it will disappear from your bank record, so meaning you will get refunded. If it takes longer than 72 hours, please contact us, but I can almost guarantee that it will be okay. From over 80,000 transactions on our own payment solution, we have only had 12 transactions with real issues so far. Shane, are you worried about tomorrow? Can we? No. Shane says he's just taking things one day at a time. Shane, beyond tile purchase, how do you see money being put into the game? Shane said we have a number of plans in progress. Tiles are only the beginning. Shane said we just made somebody said I just made a positive review on Trustpilot for solving a bug with my buying plot. Shane says thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, so somebody asked if he saw the Logan Paul video. Shane said he did. His son actually told him about it, and then he also saw it at the end of this video, and he links a video down below of the Elon Musk and Joe Rogan talking about virtual reality, that voiceovers the trailer, which is really, really cool. So Shane definitely does watch a bunch of our videos. All right, so moving on here from Game Hostel. I don't even know what he says. I'm going to skip that. Oh, all right, yeah, something about Kohl's, asking if he shops at Kohl's and use a prepayment card for them. Shane says if that prepayment card works at Kohl's, it might work in the game. He has no idea, but he loves shopping at Kohl's. Kohl's is not the American Kohl's, it's Coles, the Australian one. So if you have a pre-authorization credit card that goes from somewhere else, it might work in the game. You might as well try it, if you want to do that, but it might not. Somebody else says, don't be worried all the time. We got faith in you and the team. Shane says he's not worried. He just takes responsibility very seriously, and it's impossible to wind down until he gets the goals that he's wanting for accomplished. I have to go soon. What is the likelihood that people could make a steady living on E2? Shane says he would love that. Wolfgang and I have the same dream here. I'm going to go with this and say steady living. I feel like a lot of people that he's thinking about are middle class, $40,000, $60,000, $80,000 a year. Some people could live on $10,000, $20,000. Some people do, and this is literally going to change lives. Someone asked favorite type of game. Shane said he loved Ultima 4 on Sega. He's proud to say he completed Abe's Odyssey on PS1 without any cheats. Yo, he's a badass. I hope that doesn't get me demonetized. He's just, I love him. Somebody asked, big question, are you planning putting ads randomly, or will it go by geographical location? Shane said a little bit of both. Shane, give us something to hype us up. The market's been dead for a while. Shane says, we can change that at any time. We're just getting things in place first. Our ad spending is still nothing. God, I love Shane. I love him so much. I just want to thank you for this game. It's given me the ability to focus on something positive. Shane said, that's only the beginning. Another question is, so as company, you can decide to only show your ads on USA tiles, for example? Shane said, yes, we would hope for that. If somebody as a company wants to only put tiles on USA, or ads on their USA tiles, yes, you will be able to do that. Shane says, or somebody asks, quick question, do we need to pick something personal ads that will be on our stuff? And Shane said, we're working on plans, so they'll let us know. Most likely we'll be able to. Many are concerned about the use of bots. Someone accidentally sends too much money on there. Shane says, we're working on ways for users to be more aware of the price they're setting. Those are already live on platform, meaning that if somebody sees a price that's really, really low because somebody made a typo, and there are bots that are coded to be able to snipe those, Shane's working on that. Somebody asked, how is letting other people steal resources on your land before you have them a part of the game? Shane says he doesn't get that question. That's just in reference to saying that people, if you have 100,000 plots of land and somebody mines or gets resources or loot on your property, no, you're going to get part of that. That's all that means. That doesn't mean they're going to get the whole thing. You're still going to get part of it. Dorkslayer asks, will there be needed any in-game tech research, like an eco or something? Shane says, yes, Wolfgang is working on such things, and it's looking really good. Basically, that's a tech tree, where, I can't unlock what this is until I get this. You get this, it unlocks this, and it's another tree, and it goes on that way forever. It's really cool. So answering Chris. Chris says, first and foremost, thank you for what you have done. Regardless of minimal complaints, there are a lot of people like me that believe in the project 100%. Could I please ask that Essence, EPL, and Phase 2 mining resources is still going as per the initial announcement to land by the end of Q1 2021? And I think Shane basically goes on to say that, yes, let me know where it is for Q1. Basically, where was that written? Because I think they might be changing this to the first half of 2021. As in some things as Phase 2 might not be released until mid 2021. Like Phase 2 will still be released in Q1, but only part of Phase 2. The rest of the parts will be released in the next coming months, in the next year. So parts of Phase 2 will just be in Q1. Parts of Phase 2 will be in Q2, Q3, maybe even Q4. That's just what he means by that. And yeah, and to go back on the question, I think there's speculation or mention that others would be able to mine on your property. Shane says, no, this is more if someone finds loot or something while browsing or walking on your property. Shane says you might receive part of the value of whatever it is, which is interesting because before he has said you will receive it. Now he says you might. But he is just talking specifically about loot. Mining will probably still have that. Loot is something that maybe in the warring world, if someone is killed on your property and they drop loot and someone else picks it up, you might get part of that loot. That makes a little more sense. So we're almost done here, guys. Chris asked first. Oh, yeah. Shane says, we're working hard as fast as possible. Can you please show me what was promised in Q1? He's just going back on that again. Ignore that. Ignore the last 10 seconds. I'm glad you... Fudge. Caitlin says, I'm glad you mentioned this. This comment of yours is exactly why everyone here loves you. Shane says, yes, I would love to see their faces in the long run. He was just referring to another comment about thinking long-term for everyone. Grandmaster Dorkslayer says, can I please make a request? If you have publicly tried to slate Earth 2 in a bad way, can you please go and change that on your reviews? Shane says, yes, please do this if you have an ounce of decency. Open 24 hours says, Shane, I have a question. Will you allow third-party game developers to organize the game with other DLCs? Oh, that'd be good. Shane says, we would love to, but cannot say for sure how it would work, which makes sense. BS, I've seen it hundreds of times. People come in here and complain and cry this is a scam. Shane says, exactly, and that stuff hangs on the internet. Shane's a father of 3. He has colleagues, partners, friends, and family. He would never scam anyone. This is just not really game updates. This is just how Shane's feeling. Dorkslayer said Dorkslayer's been playing the game as intended the whole time. Shane says he actually saw one of Dorkslayer's videos the other day saying it was interesting. He does make interesting videos. Shane says he needs to go back to work. It's a pleasure being with us. He hopes we all have a wonderful day. That's it. I love you guys. Just comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I love you all. Goodbye. Meow.